inside my DNA. I got royalty inside my DNA. I got peace, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA.
神羅転生
I was born this is why immaculate conception. I just felt like this, perform like this without you. A new weapon, I know.
After Death Note, anime fans missed the excitement and thrill the manga series gave them, well, Platinum End just filled that void for the fans. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to see the complete story of the famous anime series Platinum End. Platinum End was created by the makers of Death Note, a series that is considered to be a cult classic among anime fans. So the Platinum End has had high expectations built up around it. The questions will live up to it. Hello and welcome back to our channel. Before getting into the video, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more cool anime content. So let's get started. After losing both his parents due to an explosion, young Mirai Kakehashi lives in the custody of his disparaging relatives. The death of his parents wallows Mirai into depression, with the poor boy not able to get over the fact that they are gone. On the day of his middle school graduation, seeing his classmates arriving happily with their parents reminds him of the emptiness in his life. As a desperate attempt to reunite with his parents, Mirai attempts suicide. But as he jumps off the building, bracing himself for impact, he is saved by a white, glowing figure. The figure introduces herself as Nase, a guardian angel, and vows to give back Mirai his lost happiness. She grants him supernatural powers and an opportunity to become the new god. But in order to become the new god, Mirai must defeat 12 other god candidates within the next 999 days. Mirai begins his journey to defeat the other god candidates and attain the title of the new god. Nase grants Mirai the power to fly by giving him wings and an arrow which makes the person hit by it fall in love with Mirai for 33 days. Nase reveals that Mirai's parents were killed by his aunt and uncle. Mirai dashes to his apartment and hits his aunt with an arrow and extracts the truth from her. His aunt claims that they killed them for the money. Enraged Mirai orders his aunt to kill herself, and she obeys his command. Mirai regrets his decision and didn't realize the magnitude of his powers. He decides to join high school. He clears the entrance exams without the help of his powers. On his way back home, Mirai encounters Rodriguez, one of the other god candidates, who uses his powers to bewitch multiple females. But he is killed by another candidate in a suit. The candidate announces himself as Metropoliman, and as he flaunts his new powers, the crowd cheers. Scared Mirai rushes back home. Mirai starts questioning his decision to go to high school, scared that he may have to face Metropoliman, but Nase convinces him to attend the opening ceremony. As Mirai leaves to attend his high school opening ceremony, he is hit by a red arrow shot by his ex-classmate, Saki. Mirai falls in love with Saki. She takes him to her house and discusses with her guardian angel Revel how Saki can acquire wings. At that moment, they are confronted by Nase. Nase explains to them that Mirai is already in love with Saki. Meanwhile, Metropoliman issues an open challenge to other god candidates to meet him in Jono Stadium. Mirai and Saki travel to Jono Stadium. Mirai and Saki sit in the stands to observe whatever is about to happen. Metropoliman arrives and claims he wants a truce with the other candidates, but he is confronted by two other god candidates, Metro Blue and Metro Yellow. They try to stab him with a red arrow, but the arrow fails to penetrate through his suit. Both of the candidates realize it is a trap and the real Metropoliman is not here. Just the Metropoliman talks via the Jumbotron, claiming that he wouldn't waste his time around these candidates. At that time, a little girl with wings flies into the stadium and tells that she has no intention to compete with them. Out of thin air, Metropoliman flies in and hits the girl with a red arrow and disappears with the girl. Desperate for help to stop Metropoliman, Metro Blue and Metro Yellow calls out the other candidates to join them. Metro Green and Metro Pink join them. Mirai and Saki refrain themselves from joining them for the time being. But it all turns out to be Metropoliman's plan, as Metro Green and Pink are just actors before they could realize this Metro Blue and Yellow are destroyed by Metropoliman. Mirai sits in horror as he sees the true power of Metropoliman and wonders how he can defeat him. Mirai and Saki return to their home. They hear a knock on the door, meet Nanato Mukaido, another god candidate. Nanato says he has no intention of competing as he has cancer and wishes only to stop a monster like Metropoliman become the new god. He elaborates his plan to form an alliance with the rest of the god candidates to defeat Metropoliman and asks Mirai and Saki for their help. The trio decides to go in search of the remaining god candidates. A young woman creates a buzz in the news with a thirst for killing empowered by wings and a red arrow. She targets middle school girls of Tokyo, attacks them with her arrow, and finds pleasure in making the victims kill themselves in horrific ways. Mirai and the gang realize that this psycho killer is just bait used by Metropolitan to lure the other god candidates. The team is torn on whether to confront this maniac or wait till they recruit the other candidates. Tired of the drama and antics, Mirai and Nanato confront Metropolitan and try to reason with him. Seeing there is no hope in that they understand there is no other choice but to fight him. Mirai is reluctant to fight, but upon seeing Metropolitan aiming a white arrow at Nanato, he charges at Metropolitan and engages in a gruesome battle with him. Metropolitan is taken aback by the skill and speed of Mirai, but that does not make him hold back. The fight results in Mirai breaking Metropolitan's mask and seeing a glimpse of his face. Metropolitan flees. The heroes return home and Mirai questions whether all this is worth, and Nase consoles him. After Nanato leaves, Saki takes Mirai to talk privately, where she confesses about the guilt she has been carrying for all these years. Despite being good friends with Mirai in middle school, Saki confesses about mocking him behind his back due to peer pressure and the fear that they might mock her if she doesn't side with them. This guilt has made her have self-destructive thoughts, and as she went to drown in the ocean, she was saved by Revel. She claims that she still can't look Mirai in the eye and talk. Mirai consoles a crying Saki. Nanato designs a special suit for Saki to complement her strengths and weaknesses. At that time, one of Nanato's red arrows returned to him. Realizing that it means one of his spies is dead, Nanato fears the safety of his wife and child. The trio rush to Nanato's house. There they encounter Hajime Sakotani, another candidate, but Hajime has vowed to make Metropolitan the new god, claiming to be his truest disciple. Mirai and Hajime face off, but Hajime flees before Saki could shoot him with a red arrow. Nanato discovers his wife and child have been kidnapped by Hajime. Nanato rushes to save his family. Nanato and Mirai reach the theme park where Nanato's family has been held hostage. Metropolitan tricks both of them and traps them in a box. The heroes realize if they stop flying, Metropolitan and Hajime will kill them. Metropolitan returns to his base and orders Hajime to inform him once the heroes stop flying. Feeling dejected that she couldn't, Saki cries. This makes Revel disappointed in himself. But suddenly God grants Revel into a higher order angel, which gives Saki her wings. Saki flies to the theme park and shoots Hajime with a red arrow, saving Mirai, Nanato, and his family. The heroes recruit their own team, while Metropolitan prepares his own alliance. The final battle takes place, and as one by one his allies fail, Metropolitan deems them unworthy to stand by him. This enrages his other teammates, who choose to leave Metropolitan alone. Having to face Mirai and his teammates alone, Metropolitan realizes that he would never be God, as the god selection process is to choose the kindest and noblest candidates, and a selfish person like him would never be made God, irrespective of how many arrows and minions he collects. Realizing the harsh reality, Metropolitan accepts his defeat. Shuji Nakoumi is made the new god, and he asks the angels why there is so much death and why can't these people be saved. The angels reply they only know as much as God knows. The memories of the god candidature are erased from everyone's memories. Mirai and Saki grow up and get married, and start a flower shop together, much to the delight of Nase and Revel. Shuji realizes, as in the role of God, he sees the earth in its rawest form. He realizes that God's role is to only create humans, and their way of life and death is not in his control. He believes humanity will exist, even if God didn't. Making this assumption, Shuji commits suicide. One by one, the angels disappear, and on Earth, humans start to disappear with nothing but their clothes left. Phew, that was a really intense story, right? That's all for today, folks. We hope you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fun and interesting anime content. We'll see you in the next one.